it's Melanie with Simple Made Pretty. In this video, I'm sharing some Easter Dollar Tree DIY decorations. For this first project, we are going to make these cute little bunny planter buckets. For each project, I'm including a supply list, so go ahead and screenshot this or take note of everything that you need to make this project. I saw these buckets at Dollar Tree. They came in pink and blue, and I thought, wow, these would look so cute and white and like a little distressed, like farmhouse style. So I spray painted mine white, and I also did a white chalk paint on top because I wanted a chalky finish to my buckets. And then I just took a black Sharpie marker and I started coloring the outline of the bunny. And if you're not like perfect with a steady hand, that's okay, because it's kind of the distressed farmhouse look here, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you make a mistake, just use a little paint to touch up those areas where you make a mistake. And I actually used a black crayon to distress the rest of this bucket. And so you'll see I use a black crayon and I just color in like certain areas of this rabbit, and then I take an eraser and kind of erase it in. I was trying to smudge it with this Sharpie, but it wasn't distressing like I wanted with this Sharpie, and so that's why I started to use a crayon to distress the rest of it. And so you can see it's got like a cute little farmhouse vibe going on. For this next project, we are making this bunny pillow using a Dollar Tree burlap bunny. Here's the supply list. I highly recommend that you use a needle and thread to sew the bunny to the pillow. Otherwise, glue will work as well. I made some similar pillows last year, and I used my Cricut machine to cut a little bunny burlap figure. And so when I saw these at Dollar Tree, I got really excited, like, how easy is this? So basically I took a seam ripper and I ripped apart the stitching around this rabbit. So then you're left with the back side, which is completely plain, and you can use the front side. I'm actually thinking of using the colorful front side on a pink pillowcase for a colorful Easter theme. And so I took the Aleene's tacky glue and I glued everything down to my pillow just to help hold it in place, because I will be sewing this onto my pillow so that it's attached really well for washing. And then after that, I tied a little tiny bow to put on the top of this bunny's head, because there was the hole that the Dollar Tree had in it to hang a little string, and I just wanted to cover that up. And so I'm making a little pom-pom tail, and so basically I just wrapped several pieces of yarn around my hand, like 4 fingers worth, and I want to say I probably wrapped it about 75 to 100 times, like it's pretty thick. And then I took a piece of yarn and I tied it to the front, and then I flipped it over and I tied it around the back, so it's completely tied in the center. So you're kind of like making creating a little waist for him. And then you cut the ends, which have like the loops. You can see here I'm cutting right into that loop, and then cut on the other side, cut through that loop, and so you're left with like this big mess. But then you just take your scissors and you trim it down. Like I trimmed mine really short because I wanted him to have a nice fluffy tail. And so this is like the easiest way to make pom-poms without any tools. You don't need any pom-pom tools or anything like that. And so once the pom-pom was the way I desired, I glued it down, and then I took my needle and thread and I sewed his tail onto the pillowcase, and I also sewed the bow onto his head. I don't know why I'm saying it's a him, because this is obviously a girl with a bow. And then I stitched around the entire bunny so that he was completely attached to the pillowcase, inserted my pillow, and he was done. This next project is using some Dollar Tree wooden bunnies to make this cute farmhouse banner. Here's the supply list to make the bunny banner, and I used some wooden bunny ornaments from Dollar Tree. So I'm using the same white yarn from the last video, and I'm going to make little bunny pom-pom tails for these bunnies. And so I'm just wrapping it around 2 fingers, and I wrapped it 50 times. And I've slowed down the video right here just so you could see a little bit better if you missed it in the last video, how to make the pom-pom. So I've got the hole, and after wrapping, and I put one piece of yarn through that hole, tie it in the front, and then I wrap it all the way around the back, and I tie it again. And this time I do a double knot just to make sure it's really, really tight. You want to squeeze it as tight as possible. So you're basically wrapping, it's almost like a belt for this little pom-pom. And then once that's tied tight, you can cut your loops open. And then you're going to trim it down until it's a cute little fuzzy ball. And I did 5 of those for each of these rabbits. Didn't take very long at all, and I saved a ton of money by doing it myself. And I only had this wide buffalo plaid ribbon, and which is what I wanted to use on his neck. So I cut my wide ribbon in half, and I wrapped it around all of my bunnies' necks and tied it in a little knot. And then after that, I used tacky glue to attach the tail to all of the rabbits. You could also use a glue gun. Although my tacky glue is pretty strong and it'll hold it. And then I took a 1/8 drill bit and I drilled an extra hole into the ear to give it a little bit more stability to hang as a banner. I took some twine that was from Dollar Tree, and then I also added these little wooden beads, which you can find at any craft store. I will link the ones I've used from Amazon in my description for you. And then I just hung all the rabbits and the beads on this twine to create a cute little banner. That was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more DIY projects like this. Bye!